If you've ever had someone in your family diagnosed with cancer or a genetic disease, I'm sure you've wished for a cure. Well, I have an answer for you. Genetic engineering is where science and medicine is heading. Collins Online Dictionary describes it as a technique that allows alteration of genetic material to change the effects of an organism or cell. But what does this mean in reality? I'm studying to be a geneticist, and this topic is one that really interests me. The problem is that not enough people support genetic engineering, so scientists don't have the funding that they need. But is it really worth the risk that any new procedure comes with? I believe that the benefits would far outweigh the risk because genetic engineering would save lives and change the way people live. Not only can genetic engineering help cure diseases, it can make healthier produce, better vaccines, and possibly even extend human lifetimes. Right now, it probably seems like a crazy futuristic thought like a flying car, but that's just not true. Every time you go to the grocery store, you see the effects of genetic engineering in the produce aisle. If you've ever seen a grapple, then you've seen a genetically modified fruit. A grapple is an apple that has been enhanced with grape extract. Another example of enhancement is seen in pest-resistant plants. By making pest-resistant plants, they cut down on chemical use, which makes the produce healthier for humans because the chemicals used in insect repellents are often poisonous. Genetic engineered crops are also just hardier. They have a longer shelf life and grow in conditions that they couldn't before. In places where nothing grew, now there are fruits and vegetables that flourish. These plants can be made resistant to viruses as well. An article in the journal The Futurist by Jeffrey Scott Coker discusses one such plant. In Hawaii, there is a large papaya tree industry that had almost collapsed. A virus was wreaking havoc, so scientists created virus-resistant trees. Now 80% of Hawaii's papaya trees are resistant to this virus. Many crops are also now resistant to disasters such as drought and floods. One of the most important things, however, relates to nutrition content. Rice is a staple of many poor countries around the world. In an effort to end malnutrition, some scientists have come up with a thing called golden rice. According to goldenrice.org, the website for the project, golden rice is simply white rice that has been enhanced to provide more vitamin A. This is a nutrient that is not available to many poor countries, and this rice would be cheap and easy to distribute and save lives. Well, so far, we've discussed benefits in agriculture, but that's not the only benefit that genetic engineering could change. There are applications in other parts of life that should be noted as well. Transgenics is part of genetic engineering that has a lot of potential in the medical field. A transgene is created by combining two types of DNA to create new effects. By doing this, geneticists can create new products that would be beneficial. Currently, scientists are working on edible vaccines. Linda McDonald Glenn wrote an article for actionbioscience.org, which is sponsored by the American Institute of Biological Science. In her article, she discusses these vaccines and says that scientists hope to be able to place vaccines in fruits and vegetables in the near future. Another benefit would be for those who are in need of organs. Pigs are currently being studied for their use in organ transplant when it comes to hearts and kidneys. The biggest benefit would be in curing certain diseases that are now difficult or even incurable. Part of the reason that not all medicine works the same for everyone is because everyone has a different genetic makeup. If a doctor could analyze a person's DNA, then they would be able to prescribe medicine more efficiently. A doctor could take a person with a genetic disease, look at their DNA, and substitute good genes for the bad genes. We also believe that by understanding a person's genetics, it would be possible to slow down or even reverse some of the aspects of aging. Researchers believe it would be possible to change factors of acquired diseases such as heart disease and cancer. The goal, says Anne Stankovich in her book Possibilities and Range of Gene Therapy, is to stop cancer from spreading and then to destroy the cells. One of the ways doctors are trying to do this is by inserting a suicide gene, which would cause the cancer to destroy itself. Although it would be great to cure genetic diseases, it would be even better to stop them altogether. Francis Fukuyama, discusses what he terms designer babies in his article called Genetic Engineering. A designer baby would be a baby whose parents selected for certain traits before birth. A doctor would be able to filter out traits such as birth defects and damaged genes. They could also select for stronger children with healthier immune systems, higher intelligence, and faster metabolism, not to mention things like hair color, height, and athletic ability. Mental handicaps would be eliminated altogether, and there would be no more children born with a predisposition for things like heart disease or diabetes. Genetic engineering would change our lives more than any other scientific advance. It could significantly improve the quality of life for every person. We would have better crops, eliminate malnutrition, there would be more vaccines, and fewer diseases. Everyone would live longer and healthier lives if we utilized the tools genetic engineering would give to us. Don't you want to give your children a better future than you had?